We're talking about Texas specialty license plates. Kathy Miller, who's the president of the Texans Freedom Network, is joining us, along with Jonathan Saenz. He's with the Liberty Institute. Kathy, Jonathan, welcome to Houston's Morning News.
Thanks for having me.
It was my former hometown.
It's good to have you back, if it's only over the phone, Jonathan. All right, Kathy, let me start with you. Ladies first. You feel this new specialty plate, it's called Calvary Hill, it is showing that Texas has a reputation for being unwelcoming to all faiths. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I think that when the government gets in the business of playing favorites with faith and even suggesting that they're endorsing one religion over all others or one faith practice over all others, you're really in a very dangerous territory. And people should really be in the business of practicing their own religion with interference from or promotion by government. And these plates really cross the line there.
Now, it says one state under God, which is part of the Texas Pledge. Jonathan, how do you respond to that? Do you think that the state of Texas is promoting Christianity? I believe that's what Kathy means.
It's not just about the logo, the slogan, though. It's one state under God, and it has 3 crosses, so it's very clearly a Christian plate, not all religions.
Jonathan, how do you respond?
What I respond to is that Kathy's group, it's at the end of the year, they're trying to raise money, and they want to generate attention for something that the state of Texas is very comfortable with. The people in the state of Texas see as mainstream, and the reality is liberal left-wing groups like Texas Freedom Network want to ban private speech. What a license plate that's specialty on the back of your car, that's your free choice to decide what you want on the back of your vehicle. You don't have to have any type of specialty license plate. You can have a completely blank license plate. But there are other license plates that have God bless America, God bless Texas. Does Kathy want to ban that? Does her group, her liberal group, want to ban God bless America on the back of someone's license plate? Because we have those plates already. We've got other plates that have a cross on them. So this is nothing new. The one state under God phrase was adopted by the legislature overwhelmingly. It was almost unanimous. There was only one person that was an elected official that voted against it, and that's one of the most liberal Democrats in the city of Austin, Donna Howard. And so this is an issue that Texas feels very comfortable with. The only people that don't like it are groups like Kathy Miller and Texas Freedom Network and some of these fringe liberal groups that get thrown out of court.
All right.
The same groups that wanted to ban our governor from having his religious free speech at a prayer event in Houston. And
all right, Jonathan, you're a passionate guy, and we love that here at KTRH. Kathy, I will give you a chance to respond to Jonathan in just a second, because I know that you do. Both of you, hang on. This is obviously a very, very heated and spirited discussion here this morning, and that's what we like.
Now, back to Matt Patrick and your morning news.
KTRH News Time is 8:22. Glad you're listening this morning. A spirited discussion head-to-head between Kathy Miller, president of the Texas Freedom Network, and Jonathan Saenz, the Liberty Institute. Kathy, you're up first. Jonathan was very passionate about his views. I would agree with what Jonathan said. Just full disclosure. Also, let me mention that the money, the surcharge that people pay for these specialty plates, split between the state and an anti-gang ministry in Nacogdoches in East Texas. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, why do you care what people have on their license plates if it's doing some good?
I think the government should be in the business of doing good. I'm not going to impugn Jonathan's motives, and I would suggest that he doesn't know the intent behind why I'm opposing these plates. Look, it's not free speech. Everybody has a right to put a religious message on their car or on their bumper sticker. Go down any street in Texas and you'll find it. If it were a question of free speech, the Department of Motor Vehicles would have no say in whether or not these license plates were adopted. It's not about that, and I fully support folks practicing their faith and displaying it on their cars. It's not about a logo for a university that says, I went to Mary Hardin Baylor or I went to Southwestern University, which expresses its own unique mission. It's about the state being in the business of promoting one faith over all others or playing favorites with faith or even suggesting it. So I fully support the government finding ways to help eliminate the gang problem. I just don't want them to do it in a way that ever suggest to anyone that their faith is somehow not favored by our government.
All right, Jonathan, quickly, I'm going to let you wrap it up here.
Look, the courts have settled this issue long ago. Government has to be neutral. Since the government is in the business of allowing specialty license plates, they can't pick and choose what messages they'd like and they don't like. That's why you can't ban God Bless America. If the state did that, they would be playing favorites with religion. They've stayed neutral, which is what the Supreme Court says they have to do, and that's why they allow the phrase God Bless America. Knights of Columbus, the Catholic organization, also has a plate that says one nation under God. I guess Kathy's group probably wants to ban that.
All right,
You've got Boy Scouts of America with a plate. This is about free speech, and it's about the fact that Kathy's group doesn't like Christians expressing their free speech in an emphatic way.
Jonathan, I thank you for your passion. Kathy, thank you as well for joining us here this morning. That is the best discussion that we have had this morning about this topic, and we'll continue to keep our eye on it. The brand new Texas license plate called Calvary Hill.